2024 International Peace Day. It is spectacular, it is unique in its form, and we're going to see the result of it. It's a legacy thing that we won't forget in a very short time.
No society attains peace through the workings of just one single entity. We must not abandon government to champion these peace efforts alone. I therefore use this opportunity to call on all of us to join hands as we build the blocks of peace in our dear country.
Peace should be our guiding principle and our way of life. So we charge us to take action today by working together to foster a peaceful environment. We must focus on what unites us rather than what divides us. Emphasis should be placed on peace education, peace promotion, peace networking, and peace advocacy.
A country like Nigeria and a continent like ours, Africa, where the largest population demographic is comprised of young people, advancing peace, cultivating peace cannot happen when that critical mass is missing. And when you look at it across the continent, or even across Nigeria, in any space where there are threats to peace and security, it is either because young people are excluded from the spaces where even decisions that affect them are being taken. Every one of us, in the different spaces that we occupy, male or female, young or old, that we all have a responsibility to contribute to peace.
At the National Orientation Agency, our mission aligns seamlessly with the theme of today's event. We are dedicated to promoting national unity, peace, and stability through strategic orientation and public enlightenment programs. Peace, as we know, is more than just the absence of conflict. It is the foundation upon which the progress and prosperity of any nation must be built. The role of our youth and women cannot be overstated.
I believe in a united Nigeria, where the sun shines bright on every face. Yes, beautiful faces like mine and yours, whose voices echoes through a non-violent drum beat that understands the beauty of respect, unity, freedom, and cultural diversity. Unshaken and unbroken, we champion peace as one.
You're welcome, sir. Welcome, Your Excellency. Your Excellency, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, today's event is very critical because we have in our midst an icon of peace. The former president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria represents anything but peace. Indeed, he has been since leaving office. In 2015, has been going round and in the country preaching peace.
Peace is one intangible thing that people oftentimes downplay, they don't recognize it, they don't appropriate for it. And I use the word that peace is a marginalized subject. People enjoy it, but they don't know that they need to invest in it. And I think that that is the irony of it all. So when in the wisdom of the United Nations, they decided to create a day, 21st of September every year, to mark the day for peace. The essence is to amplify our individual and collective voices in the peace arena. It doesn't matter whether you are in the kinetic sector or the non-kinetic sector. We're all working collectively, for the good of humanity and the good of society.
Generally, what we consider as peace is agreement, tranquility, harmony, lack of conflict, which is key, and freedom from fear of violence between individuals. The whole concept of the UN is to ensure that the world live in peace. So everybody must be involved in peace. Sometimes when you go to a society and people can tell you all kinds of stories, but by the time you do proper analysis, you know that most causes of conflict is leadership struggle. And in that case, we must all begin to think differently. We must cultivate the culture of peace.
But for the peaceful coexistence of Nigeria today, we want to thank Your Excellency for the good work you are doing for Nigeria and for Africa and for humanity. And it is on that note we hereby confide the Fellow of the Peace Institute to you on this day. Thank you, Excellency.
So,
there's no country that would progress and have prosperity without peace. The Nigerian Navy, as a member of the Nigerian Armed Forces, has contributed and still contributing to the peace and progress of our dear nation. We are therefore pleased to partner with these institutes in all ramifications to ensure that there's peace in our nation.
The Nigerian Air Force believes that cultivating a culture of peace starts with positive socialization and imbibing positive values. We recommend that the Institute should pay more attention to the youth in helping Nigeria cultivate a culture of peace.
The United Kingdom is committed to a long-standing partnership that we have with Nigeria on peace and security. It's an important feature of our bilateral relationship, and alongside our shared history, our people-to-people links, and our development partnership across many fields, including in peace building and conflict resolution and trade and investment, we feel very strongly that we want to walk with Nigeria side by side on its journey to a more stable and prosperous and peaceful country. So our vision is a shared one.
Peace and security is a prerequisite for humans to thrive and for development and advancement. That is the case certainly in Nigeria. It's been the case in Denmark. It's a case in West Africa, and these days we also see what's going on in the Middle East. I think it's important to have this day initiated by the United Nations to remember how important peace is. We have not achieved it. There's a lot to do.
Cultivating a culture of peace has never been more urgent, following recent trends around the world and their implications for the future.
Peace is not the absence of trouble. Rather, I would say peace is the ability to look at our differences and turn them into a strong point for us to operate.
No matter how big or small, rich or poor, strong or weak, countries should be peacemakers and promoters. As countries engage in frequent exchanges, and the key is to insist on dialogue, consultation, and peaceful negotiation.
This particular award is a community-level peace building. For him to have been elected tells you how you need to use power for the good of your people and the good of humanity. It is in that light that after serious consideration, we decided to say, okay, no, let's give him this award.
Being the third person to receive an award from this great international institute, because people from outside these shores of this country come here to study. From this international institute, following behind two giant men in Nigeria, I don't just know what to say than thank God, the Almighty.